official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life here in the District of New Jersey.
Welcome back to INCRadio New Jersey Satellite Studio. Today, we are going to talk about something that is very fun to do, but can be stressful in a way. Today, it's all about travel, planning, strategies, tips on do's and don'ts, and a whole lot more. Are you excited about this, Leia?
Oh, I love to travel. So this is one of my favorite topics of all times, besides food, of course. But we're not only talking about travel by plane, train, or car, but also trips in an RV. If you don't know what that is, it is a recreational vehicle. And joining us today is Ron Poblete, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, who has been traveling in RVs most of his life. If you've seen, I don't know how to describe an RV. It looks like a giant tractor trailer, or an oversized van, I guess, but it has windows and doors. But we have photos, so everyone who is tuned in the show, we're going to be showing you what an RV is. And once we get started with our interview, we're going to see, well, hopefully get a short tour of what the RV is. So before we get started, we want to say hello to our live audience there in the live stream. And we want to ask you, what are your top tips for travel? Maybe you also own an RV or have rented one or have gone on a trip in an RV. Did you love it? Did you hate it? You know, what are the highlights? What are your favorite things? So, all right, without further ado, we wanted to say good morning, good early morning over there in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hey, Ron. Good morning. Thanks so much for getting up early to join us today.
Yeah, it's what time is it now? 7 o'clock, 7:45 here.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone out here is still probably still sleeping, but I have no problem getting up this early.
Oh yeah, so you are actually it looks like you are in the RV today.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you are in Las Vegas at this time. You're not traveling.
No,
Okay.
not traveling today.
Not today. Okay, great. So before we get started, I know everyone's excited to see these photos that we have that you've given to us. Before the RV or besides the RV, what is your favorite mode of transportation for travel? Do you hate the plane? Do you prefer the car? If you could drive to the Philippines, would you?
Actually, yeah, I would. I mean, I will take a plane, depending on where we're going and how long we're going. But I do prefer traveling on the road.
Okay, so you prefer the road. So if there was a way for you to park your RV on a boat and then have that boat go to your, very far destination, that's what you would prefer.
Yeah, and it's not, it's not the destination, it's the journey. So it's the places that you go to and see along the way.
Okay. All right, Marisol, we know if anyone follows you on social media, we know you also love to travel, even local excursions, right? So what is your preferred mode of travel?
It depends on where I'm going, Leia. If it's the farthest we've driven is 16 hours to Florida. So that's the farthest. And we will do it again if, we're not going to do it again in 4 days like we did last last year, I guess. Yeah, we drove to Florida in 4 days. I think we were only in Florida for overnight and then we
I was
drove
going to
back.
say 16 hours is very fast. When we drove to Florida, well, we stopped along the way. We had roadside adventures with the family. So, but it definitely we wouldn't have gone 16 hours. That's like one break.
Yeah, so it depends on where we want to go. If on a road trip, like if we plan to stop on different states, then we would prefer driving. But for longer, travel plane. How
Okay.
about you?
Me, I love to see clouds. So I love to fly. I also understand that I'm on the smaller side, so I don't. I'm not usually uncomfortable in the small, basic economy chairs. We don't always travel. We never travel super upgraded, but I love to travel there, and I like the experience of the plane. I feel like the car, because we're always in a car. And maybe because I've gotten, we used to have a van when I was little, and I would get car sick or van sick because there was just too much space. I don't know. So me, I like, and also when you're on a plane, you're going far away. I've never taken a plane like somewhere super local, like even to Boston. I've taken the what do they call the? It's not a bullet train; it's the express train. So it's instead of being like a 5 hour drive, it'd be like a 2 hour train ride. So I prefer actually trains over car. It's just during the pandemic we got a little, we became very concerned about our sanitary conditions and personal space. So yeah, that's it. But I have to say, after meeting Ron and actually spending time, a short time in his RV, when we were out in San Diego last year, it has put in my mind, and also my parents are considering getting an RV or a camper, for because now they're retired for traveling. So let's see the photos. I know our tech has them. You can put them up. So this is the RV that we're looking at right now. And it doesn't look that big. It looks manageable, right? It's like a U-Haul, not promoting, but that size, like a delivery truck. All right, let's see the next one. And Ron, feel free to jump in anytime. Where is this?
This is in the state of Utah, the Bonneville Salt Flats.
And you drove here.
Drove there. We were up there in Salt Lake City, and we kind of went another route to go to this destination.
How long was this drive?
From Las Vegas to that particular place, I would say 6-7 hours.
Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, 6 to 7 hours, not bad. Almost to Canada. Okay, this one is a famous shot. If you know the movie, I know this movie very well. I watch it like several times a year. So, what is this exact location though?
This is on the Navajo lands out there, it's on the border of Arizona and Utah. It's the road that's leading to Monument Valley.
Okay, and how long is this drive for you?
From Las Vegas to Monument Valley, about I would say 7 hours.
Okay, all right. So
Is that the cathedral rock there, Ron?
It's well, there's several what they call buttes. Though it's very famous for a lot of Western movies. So,
yeah. All right, let's see the
I'm
next
asking
photo.
because we did climb the cathedral rock. I love Sedona.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is yeah, that's further down in Arizona. This is on the northern part of Arizona.
All right, we have another photo. We only have 9, so next photo. This one is one of my favorites. I love well, the colors, of course, but I've never been on a hot air balloon. That's also on my wish list, something to do. They do it locally, well, not locally, somewhere like 2 hour drive from where I live. We have to figure it out. But this looks like, is this the famous one in New Mexico, the air balloon festival?
Yes, this is the International Hot Air Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And how long is this drive from Las Vegas?
From Las Vegas, it's about I want to say 9-10 hour drive.
Oh,
Actually, it might be maybe 8 hours.
I was gonna say I don't know how fast you drive, but everything seems so close. I don't know, maybe because you're right in the middle. All right, next photo.
And do ride a hot air balloon if you get a chance.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's a little expensive, but I think once in a lifetime.
It's too hot in the balloon.
It's too hot for the gas.
Not really.
I did it, but I don't think I will do it again, Ron, because it's so hot.
Maybe I was gonna say maybe in the fall weather. I think that's when it's most popular. Not in the summer. I wouldn't go in the summer if it's that hot. All right,
Yeah,
so this
we did it in the summer.
Yeah. So this that's you on this giant rock.
Correct.
So what is this place?
So this is out there at Joshua Tree National Park.
And where
Ooh.
is that?
This is in it would be in Southern California, about maybe an hour or two from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay. So nice. All right. So next photo. I mean, what is this place?
So this is actually Death Valley, and normally it's another dry lake bed. But because of the rains that we've had this past year, this lake is actually it's usually dry, but because of the rains, it actually became a lake with the water. So this lake is actually called Lake Manly.
I was going to say, sounds familiar. There's also, it's funny, if we're talking about manly names, Manly Beach over in Sydney. I've also been there. But anyway, next photo. I think we only have a few more left. Oh,
Uh,
look,
this
it's the missus,
yeah.
right? And
Yes, that's Auntie Carol. This is actually the same picture or the same place. This is in Death Valley again. This particular area is called Badwater Basin, and it's the lowest part of the let me see lowest point of in the United States. I can't remember how many feet below sea level, but as you
wow.
can see, it's very dry. The previous picture was the same area, but with about a foot of water.
Okay. And how did you take this photo? Is this like a selfie?
This was actually from a 360 camera.
Oh, wow. Okay. That you just left mounted?
Yes.
Sorry, it's like we want to know how you take these awesome photos. We know you're a professional photographer as well. All right, so next photo. I think we only have two more, if I'm not mistaken, or one more. Next. Oh, and this is how far is Wyoming? You were both wearing hats, so I'm assuming it was cold.
It was cold. Gosh, this was last. It was this year. We were on our way to Yellowstone National Park, and it borders the states of Wyoming and Idaho. So this is about a 12-hour drive or so straight.
12-hour drive straight. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about that driving straight and pit stops. All right. How many more photos? I think we have one more. I'm expecting there must be one more. No? Okay. If there's no more, that's okay. Because we're going to get the live view. All right. So for those who don't have never been or are curious about it, Ron, could you give us a brief showing of the front of the RV to show the sleeping, which we did earlier?
Oh, a little tour, sure.
Yeah.
Let me take the camera off here. So here's a little tour of the RV. That is the front of the RV where you have the driver's seat and the passenger seat. Up above that is a little sleeping area. You can sleep two up there comfortably. The door is right there on the side where you enter. Over here, we have a couch sofa area, and this particular part of the RV slides out, so that'll give us more room inside. When you do slide it out, the couch actually turns into a bed, and you can sleep
Nice.
two there as well. Over on this side is our
The
little
table.
dinette, and this actually converts into a bed as well.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
you can sleep two here as well. So you can sleep six people here comfortably.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks
And
for that. Oh,
towards
there's
the
a
back is the kitchen. So we have a full-on sink, oven, and a microwave on top.
I didn't realize
On
you
the
had an oven in there. Wow. And there's a full, like almost a full fridge.
fridge and freezer,
And of course,
and
a
beside
separate
that,
bath area.
a big pantry beside it with
Oh,
before you get into
the
the
bathroom.
bathroom. There is a door for privacy for that bathroom area, but you have a shower, toilet, sink, and a big wardrobe closet back there.
Nice, nice. I didn't realize all of that was there when we were in the RV last year. So, I know Marisol is thinking about taking her family on an RV adventure. How did you get into this, Ron? And why is this your preferred mode of travel? Is it
Uh,
about economics? Is it because of you had kids or and dogs?
I would say growing up with my parents, we used to travel quite a bit and take road trips as well. So we had a little camper van at the time, and then my parents upgraded to more of a Class B motorhome. So we were so used to the RV life even as a kid, and growing up, we did the same with our kids. We had a van, kind of a camper van, but we ended up waiting for the RV purchase until I had plans to retire. So now that
That
I
is
was,
so hard to believe. You don't even look like you're a young retiree. We're not going to ask you how old you are, but you look like a very young retiree. So the RV life has been with you since you were younger. So you're okay with a small space with a minimal closet. One of the questions that we have here is, what accessories do you bring with you on a trip? But it's like when you're flying or on a road trip, you're limited, right? You're limited to how much space you have, and also you have to take into account, especially if you have other people with you, bathroom stops. So I'm going to turn it over to Marisol for questions about. I know she's thinking about the RV. Do you have any questions for Ron about this RV travel?
Yeah, so like Leia said, I've been looking into doing, an RV trip, hopefully in the near future. So I've been looking into I've read about it, we have no plans of buying an RV because it's very expensive. But I was looking into renting, and I found one time I found a very affordable rental fee for an RV, Ron. But then when I was ready to check it out, like the insurance costs a lot.
yes.
So like the insurance is more than the cost of the RV itself. So we didn't push through with it. But anyway, so as I was doing my research, there's so many things that you have to look into before actually planning that trip. So how far do you plan ahead for your trip, Ron? And what, like, for somebody like me who's planning to do an RV travel or maybe go to a campground, what are the things that you should be looking at when you are doing your research?
Well, for example, we have a big road trip coming up next week. We're planning to drive from Las Vegas to Colorado. Uh, so I'm already ready for that trip. I've done my research, and there's a lot of planning involved. You have to, one, figure out your route that you're going to take. Um, my our travels are planned around certain areas. One thing on our wish list is to visit all the national parks and monuments that we have here. So Colorado actually has four national parks, and we're trying to tackle all four if we can in this road trip. So by planning this out, we have to figure out where that particular place is, and then plan your route that way. As we're traveling, though, of course, it's like your travel to Florida for 16 hours. That's quite a bit. So for the driver, it's definitely a lot. So
An
I
RV would be so good.
yeah, and it's nice too if you do have like more than one driver. You can continue your traveling, and the other driver can take a nap or so on. So that's one of the comforts of having an RV. You do have the space and to be able to sleep comfortably. But we do plan our trips. I like to plan my drive every 2 hours. To at least stop and stretch your legs, and also to gas up. I like to keep the tank full because it depends also where you're going. You really need to know where the gas stations are. We had several road trips where we didn't really plan ahead or took another route, and really close to empty. We were struggling to
Ooh.
get to a gas station. So we learned our from that experience to make sure that you gas up as much as you can.
Wow. So, okay, this might be a silly question, but do you keep a map in your RV, or do you rely solely on the internet for the mapping?
That's another thing that I would plan out as well. I would go ahead and map out everything and save it to my phone as a backup, because there's a lot of these areas where you don't get internet access or your GPS may go out. So at least I have that map as a backup to get to my destination.
Yeah, when we were recently in California, we were routed by the GPS to near a lake area where I just had that E on top of my phone, and I'm the navigator. And Philip was asking, was like, "Why isn't it talking? Are we supposed to turn? You know, there's a fork." And I was like, "It's a dead zone. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to us. We need to get home before sunset because there's no lights out here. I have no signal. This is, you know, we're back in the 90s before cell phones were a thing with GPS. So you do save it down, but you do not keep an atlas. I know some people are like, "What is that?" It's like it's a book of maps.
Yeah.
So it's
We
not
do
like
have a map, but it's not as detailed as you would get on your GPS and so on. So it is best to go ahead and download the map if you can.
okay. So I don't know if everyone's excited. I see our comments in the live chat. So I love that you have a full kitchen. I didn't realize you had an oven. What is the longest trip you've taken or like stayed in the RV?
I would say that trip to Yellowstone, we that took several days. So camping out, uh, and yes, you do have the luxury of having your refrigerator, freezer, and so on. Uh, Having food, preparing food, we do that quite a bit. So we'll prep food for our trips to save money. But once in a while, we will stop somewhere at a restaurant to at least treat ourselves to a really nice dinner or something and be served.
Okay. So I guess the more important thing is, okay, so let's say you decide to travel for a month. Like, where are the places where you can, as we know, you know, your RV is not hooked up to a sewage line, so you have to empty out some things, and then also electricity and also water, right? Because you're using water in the RV. So where do you refill those things?
So once you do go on your travels in the RV, you do have the capability to have water stored in a water tank, as well as your waste. There's what's called a gray tank and a black tank for your sewage. So most of the time when we're traveling, what we like to do is, again, planning out your trips. We would stay at certain campsites or resorts, RV resorts, that do have the full hookup, so you can power up your rig to electricity, water, and sewer. There's some other ones that don't offer that, and that's what you would call more of a dry camping or dispersed camping. And that's where you utilize what you have in your rig. So the power that you have, whether it's running off a generator or what we have as a backup, or we actually use primarily when we don't have any hookups to electricity, is a big power uh, bank. It's the size of a battery, an actual car battery, but it's portable, and you can actually charge that through regular electricity power or through solar panels.
Wow. Do you have solar panels?
I don't. I'm planning to get it, but we haven't had the the need for the solar. I mean, I would like
Okay.
to, definitely, but that's in the planning too. When we do make our stops, we're usually stopped where you can hook up, and usually I'll charge the power bank
Okay.
there.
I was going to say, because you live in a very sunny area. I mean, temperatures this past summer were up to like 140 degrees. So you have plenty of sun
Yes.
where you are. So very important, especially for the younger folks. I'm thinking of your family, Maricel. How are you getting on the internet? Because I don't know if people how long people can survive without the internet.
I do have a what's called a MiFi. It's a personal internet device,
Hotspot, yeah.
and I can have several. Like I'm actually connected now to it, and you can have several devices that are hooked up to that particular device. I also have up in the front. I've kind of customized the front. Instead of like upgrading the stereo or the radio up there, we put a tablet up there which has internet access. So I can use that for GPS or even watch YouTube on there while we're driving. I'm more listening than watching. I'm more watching the road, but we do have internet access up in the front if we wanted to watch movies or look up something or watched INCRadio New Jersey.
Well, thanks for the support. I always appreciate the view counts. So you actually, winding down our discussion, you've given us a lot of tips about considering traveling in an RV. Plan ahead. You have to stock your fridge. You have to check your water, the electricity, if you have a generator. Dump the stuff that's still in there so that you have a clean start. You also gave us the tip about the personal hotspot, so you're not relying on just the internet out in the wild world. And also just I guess my question to you is like, what is, if you were selling the RV lifestyle, what would you say is your favorite part or the best part about this kind of traveling for you and your family?
Well, our kids, we're becoming empty nesters. We have one left at home who's starting college actually this Monday. So we've already, in our planning for retirement and so on, it was always the plan to get the RV. So for me personally, because I grew up basically on the road, traveling on the road. It's very therapeutic for me. We like to get out. We're either stuck at home or stuck at work, and it is nice to get out every once in a while, especially nature. We're nature lovers, so we do go out quite a bit. And as a photographer or nature landscape photographer, that's one of my goals is to try to tackle all these national parks and all these other places that you see in magazines, and to be able to see it and capture it yourself is so great.
So you're not really retired because you're also have a
Yeah, and
photography business. So it's funny
it's not,
because
yeah.
Marisol's husband is a photographer. So Marisol, Brian can continue to take photos even even as you
This
travel.
is this is a very inspiring show, Ron. Like I can see our future leading to this.
Yeah, and that's just it. The RV entices us to travel even more. There's a lot of places. Yeah, like again, you see it in the magazines or even on social media and so on. But to actually say that you can see it for yourself and with your own eyes and actually be there, and as a photographer capture it's such a great feeling. And this whole lifestyle, it could become more of a full-time thing. We kind of were thinking about the future and maybe living this lifestyle 100%.
Wow, your home is beautiful. It's like, you have so much stuff in it, so that would be amazing if you could fit it all into your RV. Though, I have to say, Philip and I have talked about tiny home living,
Mhm.
and an RV like the size you have. There are definitely larger ones like
Yeah.
the professional tour buses, which I think is too big for us. But what you have is the perfect size. It's comfortable. You also travel with your dog. So then you don't have to worry about, the dog being bananas or like being impatient during the long drive, and everyone gets to relax in the back, and it's fully air conditioned. So,
Exactly.
so especially in those hot weather locations where you're going. So that's great. Okay. Any last questions for Ron, Marisol? I know this is on your wish list to do the RV travel.
Yeah, this may be an ignorant question, but so say you get to your destination, right? It's like if you park in the parking lot, is it like a regular car or do you need a special permit to park your RV since it's huge?
For us, our RV is 24, 25 feet, and I can fit in a parking spot with no problem. I might be the rear might be hanging out a little bit, but I've had no problems. Anything over 25 feet, especially the big tour bus looking RVs, those are definitely more challenging to park. In certain parking lots, you may have to park a little further just because you have to take up maybe two parking spaces or even take up like the whole row. So I've had no problem with parking ours. We've gone in and out of a lot of the national parks. They do suggest that to to come into the park with an RV, it should be at the most 25 feet or lower, smaller because of the winding roads and so on. You take something a little larger is going to be more challenging to tackle those roads.
Wow.
So no special permit to get
No,
before heading there.
not really. It's
I,
just any restrictions on any like I said, the national parks. They will tell you that you won't be able to go to certain areas because of the road conditions.
I was gonna say, Marisol, probably not where he's going because it's national parks. They probably expect all these tourists, but I can't imagine that would be okay in New York City. or in New Jersey traffic. So like in the very crowded areas, I'm sure people, I don't know if our spaces are smaller, but I haven't seen a lot of RVs parked, around the area. Very
Yeah.
rarely. Very rarely. So definitely need a special storage spot for your RV or parking area for the RV. All right, we're gonna go on to our next segment, which is our shout out segment. All right, is our tech
Hello.
ready?
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy birthday. Congratulations.
I have to shout out.
Mom, Dad, best friend.
All right, we're going to start off with you, Ron. Do you have any shout outs to anybody? Greetings.
Sure. I'd like to shout out my family, who's kind of spread out at the moment. My mom and my sister in San Diego, my daughter and her husband, Alan, up in Seattle. My son Nico and his wife Julie is out there in Hawaii somewhere traveling. And my daughter is Nevaeh is probably still in bed right now, and my wife Carol, who just got off work, she works the night shift, so she's probably in bed as well while I'm out here in the RV.
All right, all right. What about you, Marisol?
I just want to say belated happy birthday to my dear friend, Sister Criselda Greenspan, and also belated happy anniversary to Brother Aranya and Sister Teresa Lopez.
Nice, nice. And for me, last week we talked about goals, and I wanted to say shout out to Grace Evangelista, our district landscaper, resource person. Behind me, the plants are alive because you told me to get the self-watering pots. So before we went on a 2-week vacation, I threw it all together and look, they're still alive. So they now live in Seoul. So I wanted to shout out to her for always encouraging to never give up on that green thumb dream. So thank you for that. And actually, we want to say hello to Rochelle Poblete, who is in the live chat. She is saying she grew up too, road tripping. Well, that would make sense because that's your sister, right, Ron?
Yes.
All right, we also want to say hello to Ava Evangelista, Jeriel Tenseco. Also in the live chat is my mom, Gigi Fajardo from Bayonne. Jeff says, I prefer driving because you can stop wherever you want. You can go on side trips and you can bring as much gear as you can fit. We also want to say hello to Sally San Martin from Babanwang, Isabella West. Also in team live chat, Arnie Jane from Fort Worth, South Central States. Also, Grace Evangelista, comment from her, having a map is essential because some places still have no GPS. We experienced that in the middle of Wisconsin on one trip. Oh, it's scary. All right. We do have some questions, but I think we need to hold them till the end. So something for you to think about, Ron, is What is the scariest thing that happened while on the RV? That's Arnie from Arnie, but you save that till the end. See if we have time. And also from Abe Evangelista, do you have a CDL or a commercial driver's license for your RV? So we'll say that for the end. We also want to say hello to Mario Oka from Brixtonville District of Caloocan North. And I think we got everybody. All right, great. So we're ready for our next segment.
Our next segment would be the hashtag winners. So Kuya Tek, if you can please play the bumper. Now announcing our hashtag winners. All right, so for our honorable mention, the local congregation of Winslow. Third place is the local congregation of Elizabeth. Second place, local congregation of Philadelphia. And the first place, the unbeatable local congregation of Aston. Congratulations to all these local congregations. And next up is our activity updates. Kuya Tek?
Activity updates.
All right, so we only have, so for this tomorrow, Sunday, August 25, Philadelphia is doing a Bible storytelling activity for our CWS kids. And on Saturday, August 31st, next week, the local congregation of CNJ is doing a painting workshop. So make sure if you are in those local congregations or nearby, you can always go and attend. And every Sunday at 9:30 p.m., devotional prayer of all students via WebEx. And as always, please check with your local congregation for details on local events and the daily Bible study schedule. And up next is our CFO in action.
CFO in action.
During the Joint Christian Family Organization monthly meeting, iglesianicristo members gathered to discuss a vital topic, safety when conversing in group chats. This topic highlighted the potential risks and consequences of sharing personal information, spreading rumors, or engaging in online conflicts. The discussion reminded the members to always maintain Christ-like behavior and respect in online interactions, just as they would in person. The congregation learned valuable tips on how to navigate group chats wisely, including verifying information before sharing, avoiding sensitive topics, and being mindful of their digital footprint. By promoting responsible and respectful online communication, iglesianicristo members strive to create a safe and uplifting digital community that reflects their Christian values. The local congregation of Elizabeth organized a heartfelt Firefighters Appreciation Day as part of INC Giving Project, an event brimming with gratitude and admiration for the courageous men and women who selflessly risk their lives to ensure the safety of others. Brethren distributed packages as a sign of appreciation, all aimed at expressing the profound gratitude felt towards these brave firefighters. This event served as a powerful reminder of the invaluable contribution firefighters make to the community. Led by District Minister Brother Alex M. Reyes, the Brethren in the District of New Jersey continue to be united and active in participating with all activities approved by the church administration. And this was our CFO in action the last week. From the District of New Jersey, this is Sister Marisol Dagatan. More on CFO in action next week. See ya!
All right. So before we go to the answers from Ron, I missed one and I want to apologize. Also in Team Live Chat is Lionel Ornado from District of Orange County, California. We also want to congratulate Rochelle Poblete for having the best comment today. So this just represents your prize. So send me your address and we will mail you your prize. Best comment goes to her. I remember as a kid, we traveled in our RV from the Mexico border in San Diego to the Canadian border. Ron got it from our dad. Okay. So Ron, do you have a special license?
No, for our RV, which is considered a Class C RV, it's just a regular driver's license is fine. If we were to upgrade to a Class A, which is more of a larger tour bus looking RV, uh, I believe you need a Class A license to drive that.
All right. We actually don't have time for the last question, so we're gonna ask Ron to put it to us in a text so we can send it over to Arnie, who wanted to know what was the scariest thing that happened. But we'll save that. Maybe we'll announce it on the next show. All right. So thank you everyone for joining today's show, especially our live chat. We have one more from out of district. We have Jennifer Trinidad from Long Beach, Orange County, California. Thanks for tuning into our show today. Thank you, Ron, for spending your morning with us. And of course, we'd like to thank our church administration for their continued support to INCRadio and allowing us to have this show where we can stay connected and learn together. Thank you to our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, and our CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo.
And before we say goodbye, we again thank all our viewers for taking the time to watch the show. We hope today's topic has given us ideas of the different ways we can plan to travel and enjoy our upcoming trip. See you on our next episode. Bye!
Bye, everyone.
This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.